Project pending. Log entry number 1. I finally gotten this project off the ground. It's taken years of climbing the ranks, hundreds of broken bones, countless sleepless nights of work. But I finally convinced them. They finally see the potential and have given the all clear on this project. I've been given a team, ample resources, and plenty of time to prove that this thing will work. The first steps will be taken tomorrow at 8 o'clock sharp. Project pending, log entry number 2. We've already laid out the basic outline for the requirements and procedures to bring project, named still pending, to life. Cybernetics have already come a long way, so that's where we'll be starting. It's going to be moving on that'll prove most troublesome. No matter, I haven't been playing this out for timeless nights for nothing. It can't fail. Project pending. Log entry number 3. This place has become a madhouse these past years. There's no cohesion, no order. It's a mix-up of one thing after another. These scientists are given countless amounts of funding and valuable resources just so they can create a worthless pile of junk or some serum that makes plants grow just a little bit faster. They lack vision, preservation, reach. While I can say Project Titan has been a success so far in more ways than one, hell, it's probably the only reason I got this acceptance. It's not what we need. Project pending. Log entry number 4. We've begun researching potential catalysts or stimuli, resources that can enhance the living specimen to newfound levels, particularly from donations of various animals' DNA combined with various elements to create a sort of drug. We've managed to limit our options down to a few potential pieces and will request subjects to administer the drugs and record effects. In the meantime, I shall further plan out the grand scale and future steps once this project sees the light of day. The world will know my triumph. They'll know. They'll all know. Project pending, log entry number 5. With some convincing and hours of wasted conversation, we've acquired approximately 7 subjects, sheer rodents, for administration. My hopes were to get some of those specials from the city. Their power could be what we need, but instead we're given the scraps. Barely enough to test the countless sources we acquired, but we'll work with what we're given. Each one shall be administered progressively higher amounts of a separate dosage. Fusing small amounts of DNA traits into them, the effects will be monitored for every second, every detail taken note of. Project pending, log entry number 6. First test run was a failure. The subjects either passed out, paralyzed from the excessive drug use, or weren't showing signs of the desired effects. Perhaps it was the limited mental capabilities of the rodents acquired, further proving my need for a more advanced subject. Maybe a scientist around here would be willing. We'll request more subjects and more time, though I worry they won't be gracious enough to further support my passion. Primitive. Their vision is narrow in pursuit of simplicity. We can't settle for working. We must settle for beyond working for perfection. Project pending, log entry number 7. It's the next day and it may potentially be the last. The next batch of subjects didn't just fail, they did nothing. We gave the rats slight mechanical chips to improve bodily functions. Only slight. But once the drugs were administered, they were wiped out. No more than showpieces. They didn't enhance the rodent's capabilities at all. Made into a fool. I can already hear them echoing down the halls. They're talking skeptical of my genius, of my vision. But I'm no skeptic, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. I can create the perfect soldier, the perfect mix. I can create that which can't be beaten. I just need time. But time is so scarce in a building so ahead of it. Project pending log entry number 8. The other day we all got word from our astral division. It spread through the building like a wildfire. We were called to a meeting to view footage captured by camera feeds sent into the outer atmosphere. What we saw then could only be seen as a miracle from God, or perhaps himself was what we witnessed. They were researching potential elements in the outer atmosphere when they witnessed something move. Something alive living out there. It was larger than we could see. It was long, with layers that we could only assume was its skin. It seemed to have limbs, though they ended in very sharp points. We barely got a glimpse of what could be assumed its head, but from what we saw, we wouldn't be able to tell where the eyes started and where the jaw ended. Its body had this strange texture. It matched the galaxy around it, and it simply drifted along the cosmos. I thought I was dreaming. But sometimes a dream is exactly what you need. Project pending log entry number 9. It's been days, and while the project has been on hold so that any signs are coming back due to recent failures, I'm already working to correct that error. I've argued my life, my visions, with every person in this damn building for days. But it worked. I'm meeting with the astrology division this afternoon to propose my idea, an idea that may push this site off the ground and finally into success. Project pending, log entry number 10. They agreed. They actually agreed. We'll be sending a small, compact retriever drone into the atmosphere later tomorrow morning. We plan to retrieve a small sample of that thing's body, of its DNA. I say my views are vast, but I didn't realize just how limited they actually were. But no more, I've corrected that error. The DNA we've been using has been basic and unfocused. We're colliding earthly creatures with other earthly creatures. There's no way they create an acceptable reaction. But what if we administered something otherworldly? Bring together two specimens not meant to be brought together. This thing very well may be the key to pushing forward with my project. A project not of the mortal world, something larger than life itself. Whatever this astral creature is, it may be the key to success. Project pending, log entry number 11. 2 weeks since prior log entry, I've managed to get a slight sample of the DNA acquired. I'll present it to the rest of the scientists tomorrow once I've fully grasped what it fully is. It doesn't seem to react to changes in temperature or outside sound, but it flows like gravity is nothing, and its movements are graceful, like it's alive. It's almost magical. Project pending, log entry number 12. We've taken even less than a pint of the DNA acquired, but against my will, have been requested to administer it to a small rodent left over from a few weeks ago, one of our first test subjects. I shall admit I look forward to the results. This could be the very lifeblood we need. We'll record results later. Project pending. Log entry number 13. It was just a small dose. The moment it was injected into the mouse, it immediately convulsed, started twitching like a wind-up toy before its head burst open. We felt it would be appropriate to up the subject, a rabbit found outside our facility's perimeters. Once given the same dose, this time it went comatose. Its brain had completely shut down, but It was only a few days later when we entered back into the testing grounds. All the scientists were gathered around it, just staring at the rabbit. It was only when I approached them I realized the rabbit was staring back. It never blinked, never moved. It simply stood there for hours. I turned my back for a moment, then the glass shattered. The thing was jumping all around, reaching onto the assistants, ripping into their skin like a rabid beast. Despite its size, it found a way. I got away, but behind me I saw one of the scientists drop dead to the floor. The specimen was eventually neutralized. Project pending, log entry number 14. Whatever we took that night from beyond this earth, it's something beyond their control, beyond their comprehension. But that's because their views are narrow. Their comprehension isn't grand enough. They see it as a threat, but me, I seem to be the only one who sees it as the next step, as a benefit. I'll be greenlighting the project myself come tomorrow again, but this time we'll be upping the subjects. I'm on the verge of discovering the potential of this thing, and through this, humanity's potential will grow too. I know it. I know it. I know it. Project pending, log entry number 15. For all I know and all I care, the High Council can turn their backs and throw themselves off the Great Cliffs. I dispatched the few personnel who share my vision to the city, gathering human subjects. We've specified only to gather the homeless, the ill, and administering very finite amounts of the DNA we scarcely required from that creature. So far, each man has failed to be able to resist the effects of the DNA. The only consistent aspect we've noticed from each test subject is a decrease in sanity and failing mental capacity. Subjects practically go mad from the drug. If we could enhance the brain, though, if we could broaden its range, perhaps that could be a good mediator for the dosage. Perhaps we need younger subjects. A young child's mind can be influenced and not fully developed. Yes, it might just have the capacity for the DNA of this thing. Project pending, log entry number 16. My personnel have brought in someone, a young child, only about of age 14, an orphan with seemingly lower than average mental capacity. But to add on to that, he's gifted. From what I've researched, the kid possesses enhancements in terms of psyche and telepathy, otherworldly capabilities. In other words, while his brain is underdeveloped, his potential and talents are vast. He's perfect. Project pending, log entry number 17. We've administered the DNA. So far, reactions have been mild and few. He manages to recover each time, but seems to forget whatever happened in the prior time. But his brain seems to not only be storing the effects of the DNA, but revolving around it, adapting to it. He's surpassed what we thought was possible. The child will undergo a session of mental training and tests to reshape him. Then once given proper mental training, the cybernetics will be applied to the child. Project pending, log entry number 18. He's perfect. His progress has been exceptional. The kid's mental capacity has increased higher than we expected. The exoskeleton was grafted into his body, providing technological improvements into both his reflexes, durability, strength. It's rounded out his mental strength, and after a few weeks of physical conditioning, he's outperformed every other science project in this facility. Though he has shown to have these bouts of a sense of bloodlust. He murs to himself what I can only assume are other names. Results show his consciousness still remains, though. Perfect. Final tests will be run, and once completed, field studies will be applied. Project pending log entry number 19. The child is my vision brought to life. He's finally past what we needed, what I needed. His psychic capabilities, his thought process, physical prowess, he's beyond human. The higher-ups have approved of my progress and have offered me a seat on the council for my results. Finally, after all these years, my vision was brought to life. The kid finally spoke after a near month without words. He told me his name. Ren. Ren is his name. I suppose I've finally found a name for this project. Project Ren. Final log entry. Project Ren has astonished the council. Astonished me. They all called me mad. They called my visions too grand. They called me weak, but no. Project Ren is complete. The world isn't ready for this advancement. Life isn't ready for this next evolution. For the rest of history, the name of Dr. Nebulous shall ring from every corner, in every street. It's time to move forward. A good scientist never quits, for my vision is too grand for that. This is Dr. Nebulous, signing off.